I am in Poway, California at the Iron Mountain parking lot on Highway 67 and Poway Road. Today I'm going to do what I call the Iron Mountain 11 Peak Challenge. The first objective seen from the parking lot is Mount Steve, the lowest of the peaks. It's possible to go up the west side of the slope, but since this is going to be a long day, I'm going to go from the easier south side up. We're just going to pick a point right over here and then head up. I've made it up to the first hump. That's looking back towards the Iron Mountain Trail. So next I'm going to go up to this other intermediate hump and then go on up to the top of Mount Steve. I'm on that second hump. Next I just need to go up here. I'm on peak number 1, Mount Steve. A nice view of Iron Mountain and Little Iron Mountain there on the left. Painting around Lynnay Summit right there. North Iron Mountain in the background. My next objective, peak number 2, is Mount Ellie. I'm going to get there by looping around to the Ellie Lane Trail to the north side of Mount Ellie. I'm going to go up the spur. It's kind of hard for me to see my phone here. Go up the spur to catch a use trail, a route over here, which leads up and around. I'm back on the Iron Mountain Trail. Now I'm going to loop to the Wild Horse Trail to the south side of Mount Ellie. I can see on my Garmin device that I came down here back to the trail. This apparently is the old Miners Trail. So I'm just going to take off here and just bushwhack my way up and find that use trail. I can see in my Garmin that I before have gone to the left and then up. But looking at it now, I'm thinking of just doing a direct approach. Looking back at where I came up, bushwhacked my way to these rocks. Now, I like climbing rocks a lot better than I do bushwhacking. The rocks give you solid handholds and footholds. I'm on top of peak number 2, Mount Ellie. That's Mount Steve, so I came from this approach up here. Kind of panning around. It's a good workout. My next objective is North Iron Mountain, and to get there I'll go down the north side of Mount Ellie where there's a trail and follow that down to the trail that goes up to North Iron Mountain. There's a peak register up here. So you can open that up and look in there. I did that a couple years ago and I found a list of the peaks. And that's what I based this hike on, actually. My destination is this rock in the distance. It looks like a little table. That's Tabletop Rock. And the head for the trail that leads up North Iron Mountain is off to the right a little bit. There's the top of Tabletop Rock. And this is the start of the trail. I'm on top of peak number 3, North Iron Mountain, looking down at Highway 67. On top of a angled rock here. I watch my step. So looking back at Mount Ellie here and Mount Steve. My next objective is Lynnay Summit, and to get there I'm going to take the northernmost segment of the Ellie Lane Trail. I'm just a little bit away from Tabletop Rock, going down the Ellie Lane Trail, and the head for the trail that goes up to Mount Ellie is just up that way a bit. At this point, and it's easy to miss, this is a way to get on the northernmost segment of the Ellie Lane Trail. It's a path less taken, it's more rugged, and I like it. Going along the trail, approaching Lynnay Summit. I believe the trail, it's kind of hard to see here, I think it goes up this way. So at some point around there, I'm going to go off trail and bushwhack my way up. Coming down the trail here, there's a split. You go one way or the other. I'm going to take the left fork. I came up a bit here on the Ellie Lane Trail. There's North Iron Mountain, Mount Ellie. So a couple of weeks ago I was scouting here and I went up this way. And so I'm going to do that again. and kind of go up and around the summit to get to the more common path up to Lynnay Summit. So the first part is just to go straight through here. There's a bit of bushwhacking involved up higher. I just bushwhacked my way up to this point. I think it's a little bit easier going from here. I don't think that's Lynnay Summit, that's a false peak. And now I just have to continue around. A little bit of bushwhacking, but not like what I've just come through. Here's another vantage point. The Ellie Lane Trail can be seen in the distance down there. Peak is right there, or maybe a little bit behind it. For me, I'm just going to continue kind of following up and around. I just made my way to the more common path to Lynnay Summit. So the common path is from the saddle area, then making your way up around that hump up to here. And the Lynnay Summit is just a short distance up there, and there's like a, I guess you say, a beaten path to there. I came up from an unusual way, more over this way up the mountain, but it's definitely more adventurous. I'm on peak number 4, Lynnay Summit. Nice view of North Iron Mountain, Mount Ellie, Mount Steve. The next objective is Pumpkin Peak. That's just a pretty easy hike. Just kind of go back down this way and then pathfind my way up. I'm on peak number 5, the Pumpkin Peak. It's North Iron Mountain, where I've just come from, Lynnay Summit. Scanning over here. My next objective is Middle Peak, which may be this peak right over here. All right, so I need to make my way back to the saddle area, which is at this hump here. Go down and go to the right around that, and then to the saddle. I'm back on the Ellie Lane Trail at the saddle area, having come from the north. So there's Pumpkin Peak, Lynnay Summit. It'd be good to note the sign about it's the time of year when this area is closed. Yeah, raptor breeding season. It's a good chunk of the year, so you have to plan when to do this hike if you do it. At this point, I cross the trail and I go up this way. I believe just a little bit up in there, there's a use trail I can follow. Just got over that first crest. Middle Peak, or Middle Summit, is right here. Very easy to get to. And then you just follow it down, follow the ridge down to Iron View Top. I'm on peak number 6, Middle Peak or Middle Summit, and it is middle to the range. Yeah, I mean, I can see Mount Steve, Mount Ellie, North Iron Mountain, Lynnay Summit, Pumpkin Peak. I've been there. The next objective is Iron View Top. It's a little hike down there. It's pretty easy. I'm on the 7th peak, Iron View Top. Having come from this direction, it really is a beautiful view up here. My next objective is the Ramona Overlook. Very simple. After that is Banefsheh, which is not so simple. All right, so I need to make my way back to the saddle area, then go down Ellie Lane Trail, and go on up to Ramona Overlook. I'm back on the saddle, and now I head east on Ellie Lane Trail. All right, I made my way to the base of the Ramona Overlook. So at this point, you go up this hump and over it and up to the next hump, and that's the overlook. This is peak number 8, the Ramona Overlook, and it overlooks Ramona. Peak number 9 is going to be Banefsheh right here. That's a little bit more involved to get to. So I'm going to make my way down the Ellie Lane Trail to the climb up point for that. I'm on Ellie Lane Trail, not far from the trail junction where Iron Mountain Trail and Ellie Lane Trail made up or split apart. This is my climb up point for Banefsheh Peak. I'm up on that first hump. So this is Banefsheh Peak. Do the same approach as before. Banefsheh is right up there. I'm pretty much at the base of the ridge. I've decided to take a more direct route to Banefsheh. I'm going to follow the route that I came down on when I was up there. This is peak number 9, Banefsheh Peak. A lot of bushwhacking here. There's Pumpkin Peak and the Ramona Overlook. I've got 2 peaks left. One is the Little Iron Mountain, followed by Iron Mountain. But first I've got to get back to the Ellie Lane Trail. I got back down to the Ellie Lane Trail. There was some truly miserable bushwhacking up along through here on the other side of that hill. That's the worst of it. And if you go the wrong way, it's terrible. Then I'll head up the Iron Mountain Trail. The first stop at Little Iron Mountain. As you go up the Iron Mountain Trail, the trail splits. To get to Little Iron Mountain, you want to take the trail on the right, and then the trail joins at a higher elevation. I'm at the peak of the Iron Mountain Trail at this point, so I'm going to go off trail and go find my way up to the top of Little Iron Mountain. This is peak number 10, Little Iron Mountain. And I'm looking towards Highway 67 at the parking lot. And over here we got Mount Steve and Mount Ellie, North Iron Mountain. Iron View Top is somewhere over there. Maybe it's this peak right over here. And then Middle Peak, Pumpkin Peak in the distance, Ramona Overlook, Banefsheh, where I was just at. I've got one more peak in this 11 peak challenge, and that is Iron Mountain. So I need to make my way back down to the trail and just follow it where it joins up with the other split and follow it up. Made it to peak number 11, the Iron Mountain Peak.